Oop. Nope, I did something wrong there. All right. I'm going to do my best to pull up a canvas. There we go. So today we're going to look at um, how we do gesture drawings and look at how the body moves and draw the figure. And so I've got a couple of my little figures set up here, my little guy set up for us to draw. And this is on my desk. As you can see, the feet from another little guy that sits on my desk, on my shelves. And so what we're going to do today is sort of look at the proportions of the body, how the body looks when it moves. And I really like using these mannequins. And I'll show you really for the reason why right now. Oops, let me choose a different. I'll do that. I always forget to turn my size down. Let's turn that opacity down too. All right, and I'm going to go with a pencil here. And turn that down, turn that down, turn that down. Okay. So, one of the reasons I like using these mannequins is if you notice, it's got a little circle that makes the neck joint. There's a little circle that makes the body, the waist area, and that's kind of like how our actual bodies work. We don't have circles there, but our body parts that can turn 360, that can bend left and right and forward and backwards, kind of pivot on a circle like that. And so what I'm doing is I'm just trying to capture some of the basic motion that I see going on in this little walking figure thing here. I got going these two figures walking now. Um, I'm gonna kind of do that there, and so this is like a mom and a child, and mine's a little squatty, as you can see. Um, and they're holding hands and walking, and there's kind of the head of the child, and you can see by what we call gesture drawings, we're just trying to capture the basic gesture of what's going on in those movements. And so I'm trying to capture how the legs of that child are sort of positioned very similar to the legs of the adult, and then kind of give them a little weight. The other nice thing about these little mannequins is they sort of already segment, if you will, the features of the body. So we get the hand and the feet, but we get we don't have to draw the fingers and that sort of thing. But we get those little some of those round blobs, sort of like we wanted to. Um, with our gesture drawings that we saw in our assignment. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of them here. I'm going to leave this just like this for a minute. I want you all to take an opportunity to draw these and draw them two or three times. Each time you draw it, you'll get a little better at it. You'll capture something maybe a little differently than you did the first time. Um, I'm trying to pay attention this time to the height of my figures. Make sure I don't make these legs too short. I think that's what I did last time. I'm going to give that full length and try to show that little joint there where the knee goes into the from the thigh into the the calf. And again, sort of like right under that hip is that joint that allows our legs to move. And again, it's sort of round too because our legs they can move 360 and front and back, and so again those joints that move like that we really think of them as being in a 360-degree movement, being a circle, being a sphere. All right, and so I'm just gonna do one more little try to get the child here. Maybe they're at the mall and trying to get to the mall real fast, and so they're having to walk quickly. And so we're just trying to capture. And if you'll notice, sort of how the body works when we walk, when our left hand is going forward, our left foot is kind of going backwards. That's sort of how um, the body works. And so uh, those are a couple of the gesture drawings. They're not perfect, they're not great, but that's the whole point. We're just trying to capture a quick gesture. Um, I'm going to leave it there just for a second while I talk about these. Then I'm going to move them and we'll do another one here in just a second. The figures that I've got here are really nice to have because you can pose them the way you want to and so forth. But if you don't have mannequins in your house that you can pose, and you probably don't, um, get a parent to maybe do a Google search for art mannequins in different positions. You can find some cool pictures, and I'm going to move these around a little bit now. You can find some cool pictures of the mannequins posed in different ways. So you can, and I'm going to pick this up, move it just a quick, and I'll put it back. And I try to figure out poses that I normally see people, engaged in doing, and what we call a juxtaposition, where the top of the body maybe is turned a little differently from the bottom of the body. Maybe the one foot's a little more in front of the other. And so I'm gonna pose this one like this, and we'll turn it like so. And let me do something different with the little child here. Let's say the child is, and he's not as easily posable as the adult. Excuse me. All right. And that'll do for now. Okay, so maybe the child is doing this. Okay, let's move him back a little bit so we can see him. All right, so I'm going to start a new layer here. I'm not really starting new drawings. These all are um, just quick little gesture drawings. There's nothing I'm going to hang on to, so no sense starting new drawings for those. I just start a new layer. Okay, and remember, oops, you can only draw on the visible layer. I turned it off. There we go. This is a free app. You can do a lot of your assignments on this. This is that Chrome canvas. Um, Before we leave, I'll quickly show you what I usually paint on and draw on. I've got this is my laptop. It's an HP Envy. It's actually something my dad just recently got for me for this new job working with the VLA. And it's a really nice tablet. What you can do is it's a what's called a 2-in-1. You can turn it on its side, and um, I don't like any of that. But you can turn it on its side and flip it around, and it becomes a really nice drawing tablet. It's got several thousand layers or sensitivity or pressure points of sensitivity, if you will, and um, I'm just trying to capture real quickly. And one of the rules that we used to have is don't spend more than about 30 seconds on a gesture drawing. And as you can see, I'm already investing a little more time than that in this one. Um, I'm kind of getting distracted. I'm one of those people who can do one thing at a time. So when I talk, my pen doesn't draw as quickly. All right. And so this little figure is very small, isn't it? That's a tiny little person. That'd be like a 2-year-old. That's a very small child. And so maybe the legs are doing that for that child, I think. And one leg's kind of coming like so. And I got an arm here. And so again, we're just doing gesture drawings. We're just trying to capture the gesture, the movement that we see going on. And so that's my gesture drawing for this one. I'm going to leave it there for a second and let you all work on them. And we'll do one more before we put this. I'm trying to keep these all to about 15 minutes or so, so you don't get bored with them, but gives you something to kind of work with. And so, okay. You'll see I've added a little feature to my guy. I put eyes and a mouth on him many years ago, so I could kind of get an idea of where the face would be and where proportionally, where eyes would go. And on occasion, I've actually added clay to the surface of the face to kind of build it up a little bit. And let's see. All right, I'm gonna do one, and I'm gonna limit this one to just a few seconds. Whoop! Here we go again. Gotta turn the layer on. Gotta be able to see it. All right. Okay, and this is kind of that's the speed drawing. That's the kind of the thing you want to do is draw it as quickly as you can, um, while still capturing that gesture. And don't worry so much about making your marks perfect. Worry more about capturing that movement. And you can see I'm moving very quickly here. And I'm exaggerating the movement. I don't know if you saw that of the child. I kind of exaggerated. I put an extra head tilt. And so if you notice what I did with this one, and you can kind of do this, is I put an extra sort of tilt in the spine there, if you will. And so I kind of think of this figure as like a stick figure. And I think about what's the body doing. And so the pose he's in is pretty interesting. But it occurs to me that if he was twisted a little more and did something more along these lines, and had the head twisted, that it has more action in it than what I see going on. And so that's one of those things. If you're not doing if your emphasis isn't realism that day, and you're just trying to capture the motion, feel free to stop and play around and think about, where are the bone features that are going on here. Where's the spine and all this? Remember, our spine has sort of a curve in it. Where's it connect to the hips? Where are those legs doing as they connect? And again, I put like a little ball joint there, just kind of show what's going on. And then, you know, but again, thinking about just briefly, what are those bones of that? Where are they going? And so that's kind of the way I look at figures and figure drawing. We're going to do one more. I'm going to pose him real quick. All right. And this time, what are you doing here? Oh, I got it. Perfect. Hold on. This will be good. You can't see, but you could probably hear my old squeaky mannequin. He's kind of like Mr. Mcguire. He's not as young as he used to be. All right. And maybe the figure is about to pick up the child who is ready to go up to see mom or dad. Whoop. Whoop. Let's not drop him there. It's not cool. All right. So let's. Okay. There we go. Kind of like that. And so there's some interesting things going on with um, the arms there. And again, I'm just going to try to capture this real quick. Where would I see the bones in this thing kind of going? This arm kind of comes straight down. I see the hips are kind of in this area. I got a leg here. This leg's kind of hidden by the hand here. I got a hand reaching out for this child's hand. He's got arms going like that. And so I'm just trying to capture just quickly with a few marks what I see going on in this figure. Now, what do you do with gesture drawings? We've got all these cool gesture drawings. What good is a gesture drawing? And so, gesture drawings are a great way to start a more serious, sort of significant drawing, if you will. So I could come in here if I wanted to, and let's just say I want a little more opaque. And all right, and let's say I just want to. Oh, so now I'm thinking about, well, what if this had more of the human anatomy going on? So what if the arms were as thick as an arm should be instead of just being, and this is the hand still reaching down, and I'm still thinking sort of in these larger groups, but I'm larger shapes, but I'm trying to think about making it. What would it look like here? And so there'd be more weight there, and his knee would come down, and his thigh would have more weight. And here we'd have another thigh, and slowly I could take that real simple figure drawing and maybe make it into maybe as a superhero that's helping this small child. Maybe it's going to find his mom, find his dad somewhere lost in the shuffle. So I'm gonna put some and and maybe he's a big guy and he's got some big muscles here. Let's give him some muscles there. Uh, and maybe he's not Superman. Maybe he's um, Super Ron. So we'll put an R here. Maybe he's gonna be Super Ron. Ron the superhero. All right. All right. And so again, we can use that basic gesture drawing to start us help figuring out, where would we put the the thigh muscles, and where are we going to put those big forearm muscles and those calf muscles? And all right, maybe he's got a cape on. I'm gonna give him a cape here. All right, and so you can see how we can take those gesture drawings and we can start to make them into something more than just the gesture drawing, And maybe he's got the, you know, um, hmm, maybe he's got Batman ears. Give him a Batman costume. He's not really Batman, is he? No, can't be. He's Bat Kid. Let's make him Bat Kid. So, any event, I'm not going to sit here and develop this thing completely. I would be working on this for about an hour, hour and a half. And so, just real quick, I'll show you. I start silly things like this all the time, never finish them, just because I think it's cool. It's a good exercise. You can come in and start adding some value, some shadows. Um, make his legs. Any event, that's kind of how I use gesture drawings. I think most artists do something similar to this, where they start with a basic human figure and start to manipulate it until they get what they're looking for. All right, just real quick, I'll show you another app if I can get it to pull up. This is one I use, and I think I can just go like this. Boom. Oh, there we go. Yeah. This is a digital painting I'm working on right now in a program called GIMP 2.0. I also have a cool program here called Krita, and Krita is a animation program. If you get a chance, and if you are a little interested, if you will, in the animations, this is a great program. Krita is very powerful, and so it's one of those I'm just kind of getting used to myself. But in any event, that is our demo today on gesture drawing. I hope you learned something, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. If I can get this one to stop.